render menu, that's a render button. Well, there isn't a render menu. Why not? Because you are in the polygon modeling section. So you need to change the drop-down menu on the left to rendering or lighting or something like that. And then there is a render menu. And you say batch render. And it will, when you hit batch render, it will begin rendering out everything. So don't click that unless you want to start rendering for a long time. But you see over on the, let's also look at the passes section. And we've got some passes in here. We've got indirect, reflection, specular, depth remapped. So that's kind of cool. We'll come back to that later, and I'll tell you what you do with all that stuff and why you could want it. But go back to the Common tab. So it's going to render out into the project FTL, which is on your Z drive, into the render folder. It's going to make another folder called render pass, or for whatever the render pass is. So you saw on there what the passes are. It'll name folders based on that. It'll also render out the master render layer. And then it will name your file roomtextprep13.001.png. And since I like to have stuff named with your name, we're going to change that. So go to the top, and where it says file name prefix, just select that all and type in your name. And then hit enter. And now it replaces that with that there. So I think, let me think through this all. You know what I think we should do also is do underscore again. And then you see where it's written above render pass? Copy that also with the greater than, you can't select it. You just have to, with your head, copy it.
Above render pass?
You need to have the less than and greater sign also. Okay, and change the end frame to down below where the frame range is. Make it 5. We're just going to do a test. Go hit batch render. So now open up the script editor. It's the icon for it is in the very bottom right corner of Maya. Yep. And expand it out so we can read what it says. It would be at the bottom. So it says here, rendering with mental ray, result percentage of rendering done, 0. But you can already see the path where it's rendering to. So go there. Go to a folder and navigate to there to look at what's happening.
Master beauty.
So let's see what it did. So can you actually, instead of doing it where we can see it, let's look at right now, look at details. And let's expand it out. Oh, look what it did though. Okay, so you see the render thing? So it doesn't have the render pass thing anymore. It just has the, you see at the top? So go back into Maya. So we're looking at the same thing. On the render, do you see the top where it says path Z FTL right there? Notice that it used to have a folder called render thing. And as soon as you typed in render passes into the name, it decided to delete that. Well, let's help it out and tell it, no, we want that. So go type that in. Now you can cut and paste. So just copy that and put that in front of the line there. In front of, no, that's in the middle. In the front. Now you're just leaving. No, that's in the end. You can do it. Front. The front. Yes. Paste. Now hit slash. There. And then hit enter. So now what this is doing is when you have slash, that tells it, I want you to make a folder, right? So we're gonna make, so now what it's gonna do is it's gonna render out in the render directory, it's gonna make a folder named after the render pass, and then inside of that, it's gonna have your name and then the name of the render pass. Which is nice because if you're in Nuke or After Effects and you're looking at a file, it doesn't say